First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
This podcast is sponsored by Ramp. Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/easy. Ramp.com/easy. RAMP.com/easy.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you planning a vacation for the summer? Is there something you're planning on doing?
I would like to go somewhere. I don't necessarily want to drive to my destination. Well, I shouldn't say drive to my destination. I'm looking to do like the day trip. To get on the road for a day, come back either that night or the following morning. I'm not looking to do a cross-country type thing.
I think we're going to do a long. I think we're going to fly.
You're going to fly. Okay.
We're going to fly. And I didn't think we'd get down that road, be able to get down that road this year, but I think we're going to. Dr. Robert Murray is an expert on this, and here's the fear. You travel somewhere, God forbid you go out of the country, and I'm not sure what the rules are on that right now, but you go somewhere, and what happens if you get sick? What happens if the virus pops back up? Doc, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. So what do we do? What do you do? I don't think I'd ever really thought about going away on vacation and having me or a bunch of people get sick and being affected by that. But I think about it now.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think about that. I mean, you do all this preparation for your vacation, and especially now, no one's left the house in 400 days. But a little bit of extra prep about what if can really help you here, because there's actually a lot of things that might happen to you when you're on vacation, minor ailments, that you might actually be able to use telehealth or do a video visit and easily get treatment and not need to interrupt your vacation.
So you might be able to reach out to your own doctor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm a family doctor, and I'm always going to argue that that telehealth is going to work best with somebody who knows you and a provider that you know as well. And so I would always start, maybe even before your vacation, ask your local doctor if they do telehealth.
Yeah.
Lots of doctors are doing it these days. And now if you're going to leave the state, it can get a little tricky. There are licensing laws that kind of put restrictions. But your doctor will know that. So tell them where you're going. Ask them if they can see you while you're down there. If they say no, then my next recommendation would be to check your insurance. So your insurance company may have an arrangement with some kind of nationwide telehealth provider, and they could take care of you while you're down there. And if all else fails, then you can just Google, telehealth near me, and you'll find one of these companies. You can pay a flat fee out of pocket many times. They'll definitely have doctors that can see you wherever you are. And you could take advantage, not need to interrupt your vacation.
Can you tell me, so let's say I do a telemedicine call, and you say a lot of doctors do this. Is there something, do they have to be on a special phone system? Is there a special way to track it? Or do they just picking up their cell phone and doing a telemedicine call?
It's a great question. So it depends a little bit on the doctor that's going to provide you the video service.
Yeah.
And so at NextGen Healthcare, we provide that software to doctors' offices and lots of other technology for them as well. And the way that we run it, the patient doesn't need to do much of anything. They will just either text you or email you a link. That link will open up in your browser, and you just start the video visit. Maybe answer a few questions first. And you can see your doctor from your phone or from your desktop or from your tablet or from the beach or the boat or wherever. As long as you've got internet, you can have that video visit. It's really quite simple these days.
I did one back during the summertime when people weren't accepting any patients, and I got the link. I clicked on the link, and you literally go into the waiting room. And it's the most amazing thing, Doc. Just like I sit for a long time in the waiting room for the doctor, I sat in my own living room for a long time waiting for the doctor. Because and every once in a while the nurse would pop in and say, he's just got a couple people before you. And but it took, it seemed like it was, because let me tell you, the same thing happens in the waiting room. The exact same thing.
At least you don't have to wash your hands for every time you touch a doorknob or something.
That is true.
When you're in your own home.
Do you think this is one of those things that sticks around, having this option?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Next Gen Healthcare commissioned a Harris poll, 2,000 U.S. adults, and like you, 7 of 10 of them actually had a video visit, most of them for the very first time, since COVID hit. And about half of them are saying that they liked it so much that if their doctor doesn't provide that for them, they're going to switch doctors.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
It's convenient. I mean, your experience in your waiting room notwithstanding, it doesn't need to work that way. A different practice can run it where you get on the visit, you answer the forms, maybe, and then the doctor is waiting for you. So
I took my own blood pressure. I weighed myself. Of course, I skimmed off 20 pounds. And said I was losing the weight, and I loved it.
Yeah, that was great. And
their scales are always heavy. Your doctor's scales are always heavy, Doc. I don't know why.
We do that on purpose. Yeah, we make it also where your colds and your coughs actually just kind of get a little better when you come in the room, so you can't convince us that you're quite as sick as you were when you decided to make the visit. Yeah, exactly.
Doc, do you have to pay a copay when you do this? When you do telemed?
That's going to depend on your insurance. A lot of insurances waived copays for telehealth visits during COVID, and so we'll just have to see kind of what goes, what happens on a go-forward basis.
I would have to imagine that it will.
In my case, I paid a copay.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's the doctor's time, especially if they're seeing patient after patient after patient. I mean, it's a whole day's worth of work.
And then, Doc, one quick question before we let you go. I know we had somebody making fun of my love of Apple products, but this Apple Watch, combined with my phone, it does all sorts of things, including it checks actually checks your blood oxygen level. How much? And maybe we're at the very beginning of this, but it's got to really open your eyes to a whole new future of technology assisting in remote appointments.
Absolutely. I mean, like you say, we are at the beginning of it, but Next Gen Healthcare is already providing software to our practices where during your virtual visit, which is a really convenient time, we can get access. We, meaning the providers, can get access to your Apple Health Kit data or your remote scale that you won't be able to shave 10 pounds off.
Okay, I knew that was coming.
Data during chronic condition visits.
Yeah. All right. Well, to be honest with you, I like it. And sometimes I really feel like sometimes it doesn't require an appointment physically in the doctor's office. And for those, this really works incredibly well. And then, as you bring up, what if there is a scenario where getting into the doctor's office is basically impossible? This gives you a chance to be able to get that coverage, the coverage that you need. I like it. Doc, what is the website? People can look into what you offer.
You can go to www.nextgen.com.
Okay. Dr. Robert Murray, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Stay safe out there, everybody.
You do the same. Thanks.
I
like it. I really like it a lot. And the shaving the weight thing, I just,
Under what circumstances would you use this if you're on a vacation? Because I think about a couple of different circumstances, and I think I would be less likely to use it.
I think for instance, I know that before the pandemic, we went on a vacation, and somebody in our party got very sick and came home and was hospitalized. Mm-hmm. It would have been, had we known that was an option then, I think a telemedicine call would have been a really good option.
In that case, because it was a serious illness, I agree, and that's a certain.
Well, I think it was COVID. I mean, we all feel it was COVID. But they never tested for COVID. They said it was the flu.
That's a circumstance I think where I would do it, where somebody, myself or someone in my party, was seriously ill. But I think typical stuff. You travel a lot of times. It's the change of the season. People go away for the spring or the fall, the spring or the midsummer recess. So often there's a change in climate because you're always looking to go someplace warmer. So sometimes there's an adjustment where you don't feel great or you get a runny nose or a little earache or something. Also, if you go to the South, sometimes, especially in a different country, the water's different, so there's usually a little adjustment, right?
I do feel like I have less allergies when I travel, and I think a lot of people talk about that. Our area is terrible for pollen and allergies. But listen, at the end of the day, I think it just gives people one more option. And what about someone who's not mobile? Not traveling on vacation, but they're just not mobile, and it's difficult for them to get out. To be able to coordinate something, I know the technology can be hard for some people, but to be able to coordinate it, make it easier for people, I think would be a real benefit.
You know what I'm curious of?
I would expect to see more of it.
You know what I'm curious of is, for instance, in the case where somebody has the flu, you want to go to your own physician, your own doctor, as opposed to going to healthcare facilities offered at the place that you are, right? That's why you would use the telemed option. Can the doctor prescribe, hey, Bill, I know you're in South Carolina or South Texas or Southern California.
I believe they can.
Looks like you have a flu.
Video
or something.
message call or whatever they decide, I think they can then prescribe because it counts as a visit. Sometimes they won't prescribe something unless there's a visit. That actually counts as a visit. So, interesting stuff. I've done it a few times. I've also been on the call where we couldn't connect properly, like a Zoom call, but on a telemedicine call where it just got to the point where the doctor picked up the phone and we just talked over the phone because we couldn't get the video to work. It was either me or him. I don't know who it was, but it didn't work. And again, no need for accurate weight. I loved it. So I am losing weight on the diet.
This is another one of those things where we look back and we go, back in my day, you used to have to go to the doctor's office.